I'm singing in the intro.
Oh, wow.
I'm singing in the intro.
Oh, Zach, such a great intro to sing in.
Yeah.
Wait, who's that behind the curtain? Zach, there's someone singing the intro for you.
Oh no, I've been found out.
Person behind the curtain, what bloody year is it or I'll smack you?
Oh no, the year's 1952.
Hello and welcome to the theatre. And by the theatre, I mean oldie but a goodie. It's a podcast where we're watching movies from old times. We're in the year 1952. My name is Sandro, and last week I was stranded on a desert island, but it's a good thing that I escaped that in between episodes, because it's time to review Singin In The Rain. And, I'm walking around old-timey Hollywood. I'm trying to find someone to talk to.
Oh, hello there, good sir.
Why, hello there. A young-ish, but also old-souled British man has come to see me. Hello.
Why, yes, that's I. How do you do, good sir?
Why, I'm walking in the streets. Walking in the streets. I'm walking in the streets.
Is this some sort of reference I'm not getting?
Yes, to the movie Singin' in the Rain, which did
Oh,
okay
of
at the
course.
time. It didn't do that well, actually. It did
Well,
kind
it's
of
quite
okay.
popular in the future.
Yes. How do you know that?
Don't worry about it, it's not important. Anyway, nice to meet you, good sir. I'm John Wickham Gascon Bredford Steed, at your service.
You can Wickham my Gaston steed. And if you...
I'm pretty sure I've mispronounced my name, but that's fine. What's your name, good sir?
Oh, my name is Sandro.
Very musically inclined, you seem to be. Very good, very good. I could use a good young strapping lad like yourself on a new series I've come up with.
A new series that you've come up with. What is this new series?
Yeah, I've put it into production, but it won't be out for a long time. I'd say about 9 years.
9 years.
But the time frame doesn't...
61?
Ish, yes,
Ish?
correct.
What is this series? What's it about? What's it called?
It's called The Avengers.
Oh, yes, I know this series.
Yes, it's a British television series. I'm getting a few other people involved, like Daniel Keed, Ian Henry.
Oh my god.
Of course, Henry might leave later on, but it doesn't matter.
You've already
And then-
cast this thing you're making in 9 years?
Well, I'm getting the cast together. It's not finalized
They're
yet.
going to be
you
9
know.
years older by the time you're filming it. They're going to be old
Well,
people.
we're filming it now and releasing it in 9 years.
That seems
we're starting
incredibly
production now.
unprofitable. That feels like you're wasting
Well, we
production
haven't
money.
started it yet. We'll start it in a couple of years. He's a good friend of mine, all right?
Okay.
I'm getting people together, all right?
Sure thing.
Good lord.
All I'm saying is this intro seems a little bit like a stretch.
Excuse me. And then in around 1976, I'm planning to do The New Avengers.
Yeah, The New Avengers, that's a good one. And then in the year 2012, a movie is going to be released in America called The Avengers, but the British studios will think that British people are too dumb to know what the difference between The Avengers and The Avengers is, so they'll call it Avengers Assemble in Britain for no reason, and it fucks the marketing, honestly, it fucks it.
It's really dumb. But it's a great series, you know?
It is.
It features an umbrella, which is why I'm circling around to this. It features an umbrella that I use as a weapon.
Oh yeah,
okay?
that is in that series. That's
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Which is how it tangentially relates to Singing in the Rain, because there's an important umbrella.
Yes.
Anyway, I'll see you later, old chap. Oh, hey, Sandro.
Hey, Zach. Hello.
Teleported into this body to record an episode. Who's this guy?
He's like the creator of the TV show The Avengers.
Oh, yeah, John Steed, the immortal man of the Avengers. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
He's like 200 years old in the future.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he still around? What's he doing?
Making sequels to the Avengers.
Oh, he's still making them. He's still
Yeah, it's
doing
like
it.
Avengers 57 now. It's
My
crazy.
goodness, the new Avengers is what it's called.
Yeah. They combined it with the Avatar universe to just continually pump out sequels that have like weird like second meanings, like Save the Whales and stuff. Except now it's like Save the Planet, but the planet's fucked anyway. So yeah, it's all a bit rough.
Well, that's too political for me to get into. Instead,
Yeah.
let's talk about the movie Singin' in the Rain.
Oh my god, Singing in the Rain! It's so good. It's so musical. Makes me want to tap dance.
Makes
It's
you
great.
want to tappity tap, and also makes you want to singity sing. I
I
tell
wouldn't
you.
go that far.
Oh, that's fair then. We're talking about Singin' in the Rain, Zach, which is a movie. We'll do non-spoilers than spoilers, but if you haven't seen this, I'm surprised, first of all.
Yeah, what? What have you been doing? Have you listened to other episodes? Have you seen other movies? Start with that one.
Yeah.
If this is the first movie you want to watch, go watch that one. That's a great starter. That's a banger. Although, it will be disappointing on a lot of other movies when they don't randomly start breaking out singing, but trust me, it's like a musical thing, all right? You're going to have to get used to it.
Oh my god, yeah, if your first movie was a musical, do you then expect all movies to be musicals?
If no one ever explained it to you, I would want to live that life where you go in expecting every movie to be a musical. Oh, I can't wait to see Avengers, and when, Avengers versus, like, Ultron, and Ultron just starts tap dancing with his backup crew.
Singing in the Rain, Zach, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. I fucking love this movie. I think it's so good. What do you think of this movie? You watched this movie. Is this your first time watching this movie? Answer the questions, god damn it.
Sandro, you've stolen my thing. This is my favorite movie of all time.
Wait,
no,
really? Oh.
It's not my favorite. No. But I really love this movie. It's a great movie. And personally, one of my favorites as a child. Because I liked singing in the rain. While in the rain, or potentially in the shower.
You liked singing in the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in the rain,
You've got to singing in the rain.
you're singing in the rain.
It's true.
And you're in the singing mood, you gotta singing in the rain. There's no other song you sing in the rain but sing in the rain.
That's true.
You understand?
I like to sing The A-Team by Ed Sheeran when I'm in the rain.
Oh, I like to sing the theme from the A-Team. Ba ba da ba 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 ba.
Just kicking puddles around singing the
Hell yeah!
A-Team theme
Now
song.
that's a banger. You know what? I'm gonna say it. I think this holds up.
What?
I think this film, bit of a banger. Honestly,
You think this film's a bit of a banger?
this film slaps.
I
Slapsticks.
yeah, I think this movie's got kind of everything. It's got the comedy.
Yes.
It's very funny.
Absolutely.
It's got the pretty good acting.
I did not expect to laugh, but I did.
It's got a pretty fun plot.
Plot was good.
It's got a romance that might have been romantic for the 50s, but nowadays is still kind of funny. It's got some pretty good songs. It's got some great dancing. And I tell you what else it's got. A weird 20-minute bit in the middle that doesn't kind of need to be there, but it's also kind of its own thing, like a short movie that's just this own weird thing that happens that no one really addresses ever again in the movie, aside from one point where a guy's like, I don't know what that was. It's just this weird point halfway through the movie that honestly you could skip, but I like that it's there. That's Singing in the Rain.
What? You lost me. You had me for a while there and you lost me. But I guess we'll get into it
Yes.
in non-spoilers.
Yeah. Non-spoilers, what do you think? What do you think?
It's great music. It's great acting. It's great people. It's also a great, like... The best bit about this is how they are, like, showing you the behind-the-scenes of filmmaking while filming this film.
Yes.
And, like, the struggles from moving from silent pictures to, pictures with sound.
Yeah.
And, like, the struggles with that. That's still, like, relevant. There's all, like, editing things. You probably enjoyed that as well as we get, like, the struggles of trying to put this film together.
Yep.
It was great. I was like, oh, shit. I got this. This is great.
It's really good. And also it's like, it's very funny. And it's also, because a lot of movies that are about Hollywood are kind of shit because they're trying to show you how great Hollywood is. This one's not.
Yeah.
This one's like, it kind of sucks, actually.
Yeah. This one's great because there's bad people in Hollywood and they're like, hey, there's bad people in Hollywood. This kind of sucks.
It's pretty good.
This is a great film. If you haven't seen it, you need to go see it.
Yes.
Before we get into spoilers, go watch this film. Go get some time, cut out a bit of time, maybe get a friend or a relative or someone to watch it. Just watch this film. It's a great film.
It's a very good movie.
There is a warning, though. You may want to do a little jig, do a little sing and dance afterwards. It's very infectious.
Yes. I'm trying to think if there's anything in this that doesn't hold up. There is blackface for a split second.
Was
but also,
there? Oh, God, I missed it.
Yeah, there was.
Fuck.
For a split second, they're like walking around the studio, and there's one guy in...
Oh, yeah, that's right. In the background. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty bad. At least it was, like, not a feature of the film. You could easily just, like, cut that out of the film. That, like, 10 seconds as he passes some guy.
That small bit, but also I'm like, are they making fun of the fact that people do that? Or, because I don't...
I think it was just like a thematic background thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're filming this over here. Isn't that, cool?
Yeah, I feel like Gene Kelly and the writers of this, they are self-aware to a point about Hollywood.
Yeah.
But there's still stuff at the time that I don't think that they're particularly aware of.
There was one song where a guy's talking about a beautiful lady, and he's like, and also she's 16, which is great.
I feel like that was self-aware. That one had to be self-aware. But the problem with that one is, though, Gene Kelly, who's the main actor and one of the directors of the movie, his whole thing, the reason why we don't like him is because he married underage people. So I'm like, why'd you put that in your movie?
Yeah. I don't know if that was self-aware, Sandro. I think back then they thought 16 was reasonable.
Yeah.
For like a 30-plus-year-old movie director thing, and
also the director of the movie, one of the directors, one of them is obviously Gene Kelly, who's the main actor, but the other director is Stanley Donen, who did direct Blame It on Rio. So, maybe...
What?
Maybe.
No. What? That is crazy.
Yeah.
You're kidding. The person who directed this film, one of the best films of all time, went on to film Blame It on Rio?
That was his last proper theatrical movie, was that. Go check out episode 69 if you want to know what the fuck we're talking about. That is potentially the worst movie we've ever done. It's definitely up there.
It's bad.
It's real gross.
Yeah.
He also directed a movie called Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, which is also a bit problematic. It's like 7 brothers kidnap 7 women and then force them to be their wives, but it's meant to be romantic. It's very odd.
Wow.
That's a weird movie.
Wow. Okay. Well,
yeah. But Singin' in the Rain, though, if you separate it from Gene Kelly being kind of awful and also the behind the scenes of this not being amazing and one of the directors being a bit of a weirdo with the movies he made, this is a great film. This is a great film.
Well, I'm curious about the background of this film, but I'm sure you're going to tell me more later on.
I can get into it now. I feel like it's not spoilers, so I think we can get into it now.
It could be a little spoilers.
True.
We can get into it just after giving our little ratings and tell people to go watch this, but maybe not anything else by some of the directors. Maybe not anything else. But this movie's great.
Yeah.
And I think the main actor, that guy, he's awesome.
That is Gene Kelly, yeah. He
Gene
also
Kelly.
helped direct it. He's good, yeah, like he's an amazing dancer. His dancing is incredible.
His dancing and singing's pretty spot on, I'd say. And directing, might I say.
He did direct. I think he probably choreographed a lot of this. I feel like that's why he's credited as a director. I think he choreographed a lot of what was going on.
Yeah.
The dance sequences were probably helmed by him. He's great as Don Lockwood and, his sidekick, Donald O'Connor as Cosmo Brown. Yeah. He's fucking amazing. As the comedic relief, he's incredible.
Yeah, he carries half this film.
Yeah.
He's kind of the unsung hero. Get it? Unsung? Because they're singing a lot. Except he does sing. He sings a lot. And he's great.
That's one thing that I always forget about this movie, though, is like the two of them are always either singing or dancing, but they very rarely do both, which leads to scenes where it feels like they've forgotten the lyrics and then are then just dancing because they forgot the lyrics. Yeah. There's some moments where he's like, I'm singing in the tappity tappity tap, singing tappity tappity tap. It's very funny. I enjoy it a lot.
It's great. I liked he did slapstick. And I laughed because it just got more and more ridiculous. And I was like, hey, I'm not usually a fan of slapstick It was good slapstick, and I had a good time, and I even laughed. I think he's great.
I feel like it's set in the 30s or 40s, so
Yeah,
it's like the slapstick is kind of a throwback to Charlie Chaplin, that era of slapstick, so I think it works.
This is it's based in the period where they're swapping from black and white, no sound to sound, and the troubles it brings.
And speaking of that, there is Jean Hagen as Lena Lamont. Great. Super funny.
Yeah.
She's so good in this. There's a weird moment near the end that I'll talk about later where I don't completely buy the turn in her character, where she becomes the villain, and I'm like, I don't know.
Well, she's kind of the villain of this film. That's the whole point, isn't it? She's not exactly shown in a good light at any point.
No, but I'm also like, she did nothing wrong.
What?
The character didn't really do anything wrong.
Wow, villain sympathizer over here.
It's kind of like
villain sympathizer.
It's kind of like a Sharpay in High School Musical
Yeah,
scenario.
I knew you were going to bring up Sharpay. I knew it because of High School Musical. Of course, it's on our brains. I was going to mention her as well. We're both in that mindset.
Yeah,
she does feel like a Sharpay situation, where in the sequel she'd be like, oh, she was just in love with this guy.
Yeah.
And so she did this out of love for this guy, but she's not actually that bad of a person.
Yeah. Well, because I saw the stage version of Singing in the Rain about 10 years ago, by the way, was right up the front and had to wear a bloody poncho because they kept putting rain all over me, bloody kicking the rain on the audience. It was pretty wild. But at the end of the movie, at the end of the play, rather, she gets redeemed. Like, it's not she's the bad person for the whole film. So, I like that ending.
Yeah. They do plant her as the villain of this film. But yeah, she could have easily been a Sharpay situation. I could see it both ways.
Yeah.
I didn't mind her being the villain. I think she was a great villain.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she was really fun. I liked it. Is that her regular voice, or is she putting on a voice for that one?
Oh, she was definitely putting on a voice.
Yeah. It was good. Because that makes it kind of funny that she's putting on a voice for the, film as an ironic sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen her. She was in the original Shaggy Dog.
Classic.
Outside of that, I don't think I've seen. She did some radio stuff as well, but yeah. And then also Debbie Reynolds is Kathy Selden. We'll get to her later in the making of the movie, but she's very good in this. She carries some great moments. The guy who runs the movie studio as well, he was really fun. Millard Mitchell.
Oh yeah, he's great. I like the whole storyline with him, where he's also struggling with the actors and the sound and other things, but he's also in charge and makes the big rules and all that.
I like it. Anyway, we'll get into some spoilers. Bloody rate the movie, Zach. Is it an oldie or is it a Singin' in the Rain? A goodie is the other. That's the other one. We're not. That's not a thing.
It's a singing in the rain. A singing in the goodie?
The goodie?
Yep, singing in the goodie.
Oh my.
It's a goodie. It's great. It's addictive. I've got it stuck in my brain now. I can't get it out. The Singing in the Rain, it's tap dancing on my brain. It's a good time. Go watch the film. If you haven't watched the film, go watch the film. It's a good fun time. Even if you don't like musicals, just like them, lol.
I mean, if you don't like people who don't like musicals, I feel like will still like this one because it's only 30% a musical as well.
That's true. And the other parts, it's like a drama sort of piece where
yeah.
Film manipulation's going on, and Hollywood is bad, and all that. And so it's cool. It's very satirical, and it has a good message. I guess you could skip the songs if you hate that, but God, that feels so wrong to think about.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, just don't hate musicals. Get a good opinion.
Yes,
like this film.
And I mean, also if you don't like musicals, but you only watch modern musicals, completely fair enough. Completely fair enough. There hasn't been an iconic modern movie musical in ages. The best one might be West Side Story, but that was a remake of a film from the 70s. So, I think, classic musicals. Give them a bloody shot. Give them a shot. I'd start with this one. I'm giving this a goodie too. And if you disagree with me, you can go get Sung in the Rain. Mate,
ooh,
I'm aggressive
and fuck yourself.
Yeah,
yeah.
That too. Oh my goodness, I'm so sad. My name's Sally McSeller, but it may as well be Sadie McSadder because, oh man, Sandro and Zach are at the end of their Cagerama Volume 2 series on Patreon. I love listening to them talking about Nicolas Cage movies, and oh boy do they have a treat right now. 2 Nicolas Cage movies, Con Air, Gone in 60 Seconds, in 1 episode. They're going head-to-head in a cage match battle. Here's a clip. I really like Christopher Eccleston as the bad guy.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
It was really jarring, though, when he first appeared on screen. I'm like, why is the Doctor here? What is he? What's happening? I'm so confused. Which kind of sucks for the actor when they want to do something different, like Daniel Radcliffe is always Harry Potter. What's Harry Potter doing here? You know what I mean? But oh boy, do I know this actor from one role, and it's Doctor Who, and like nothing else. Like,
I mean, he's good in a lot of things, but it's weird because he's got hair. I'm not used to him having hair.
Shout out to male baldness. Make characters more badass as they age.
Con Air Gone in 60 Seconds bonus battle. You can get that episode right now on patreon.com/oldiebutygoodiepod, plus the other 5 episodes of the Cagerama Volume 2. And you can get ad-free episodes of the show you're listening to right now. That's just a little plus. I'm Sally McSeller. I love pluses. Zach, do you want to get into the making of this movie, or do you want to talk about characters and songs first? What do you want to... What?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm curious as to the making of this film, because that holds a bit of juicy knowledge that I don't know. But we could talk about the film first. We could talk about some of the songs and dance and overall plot.
Yeah. Well, the basic plot here is you've got Don Lockwood and Lena Lamont are Hollywood darlings, but they hate each other.
Well, just one of them hates the other one. The other one's in love with the other one.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, because you got the male lead. He hates her, but she loves him. Or seems to. I don't know. She has a weird thing, because it's revealed at the start of the story, when he tells the story, that, like, she gave him the huge cold shoulder at first when he was a stunt guy. But as soon as he became an actor, she was like, oh, hang out with me. Like, instantly on a dime. It's like, so I don't know if her love is genuine.
I don't know.
Maybe? I don't know.
They're in movies, but one day, the movie business changes as people start talking in movies. Now, here's the thing. Don Lockwood, great actor. He can still do movies, he can still talk in them, he can still act. Lena Lamont kind of got a bit of a high-pitched voice. Her voice sounds a little bit like a mouse, one might say. A little mouse! And people are like, oh my god, that's pretty bloody weird. People aren't going to like that in the movies.
It's true. And she's also, like, she's bad at sound acting.
Yes.
Like, she doesn't understand it so much. She's doing her usual acting routine, but of course she has to talk into the mic. But she just can't talk into the mic properly. So they have a very funny scene where they're having audio trouble.
That is one of the best scenes.
Which we can relate to, because we have microphones and audio trouble.
Yep. If you've got microphones, you will every now and then have audio trouble.
It's the laws of the universe.
It is. I love the scene as well where they show the version of the movie that they kind of rushed together with sound. It's just awful. The sound mixing so bad.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's showing the, like, first cut of this movie. It's really bad, and the sound gets out of sync. So it has a hilarious moment where 2 of the actors have, like, swapped lines accidentally because of the lagging sound.
Yeah, the audio.
So it looks like the guys, the lagging audio. It looks like the guys saying the girl's part, or the girl saying the guy's part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No. Yes. No. That's a very funny scene. But eventually they're like, we're going to turn this into a musical. We're going to make one of the first ever musicals. So they make a musical, but obviously Lena Lamont can't sing, so they bring in Kathy Selden to dub her over. And that's the movie. They've found out, and that's it. That's it. They fall in love.
Well, There's also the bit where the actress tries to manipulate the studio into putting the voice actor into a permanent contract for the next 5 years to be this actress's voice.
Yes.
And she manipulates the studio into not crediting her. She gets all unraveled at the very end with they do this thing where they get her to sing in front of a live audience.
Yes.
Where they do the whole the voice actress in the back, but then they open the curtain and it's revealed that the voice actress was singing the whole time. And then they have this big reveal and song and dance. That's good.
And yeah, that is, I mean, plot-wise, that is what Singin' in the Rain is about. It's pretty simple, but I mean, there's so many hilarious moments in this movie. It's so funny.
And a lot of good singing songs. So, like, for example, at the start, after we get like the sort of intro period, we have the sidekick of the main character, bit of comic relief, as it were. He sings about how you got to make people laugh,
Make them laugh. Make them
laugh, make them laugh.
And that scene is it's just a lot of slapstick.
Yeah. He's just kind of slapsticking around, but it gets more and more ridiculous as he goes along, and he just keeps going. And for me, it became funny of just how long the slapstick continued.
Yes.
And at one point, he's just like spinning circles on the floor, singing. It's very dumb. It's very stupid. It just gets really stupid, and I found that very funny.
Yep, that one's really, really funny. This movie's music is really interesting because it's kind of like a jukebox musical, because a lot of these songs were already songs in other movies as well.
Yeah.
So Make 'Em Laugh is pretty similar to a different movie in the film called The Pirate. There's a long sequence in this film where Gene Kelly kind of dreams the introduction for the movie they're filming. That's the long sequence that I feel like doesn't need to be in this movie, but I also really like it. But it doesn't need to be in this film, but it's very good.
I thought that was a thing. I thought that was part of it. I thought that was like a movie scene that they filmed.
Yeah, it's him. Well, because, I mean, in the context of the movie, it's him trying to describe it to the main guy. And then he's like, I can't quite visualize it. It's the punchline.
Well, that's it. I thought it was like a cut to them actually filming it, but they filmed that, but he's describing it to the guy right now, but in the future they filmed that, right? And we saw the visualization of what happened in the future there, but obviously he didn't get it, and he's like, I can't visualize that, which is, funny.
Yeah.
That was my thought in it. So I didn't think it was sort of added in. I thought it was fun.
I like that part. It goes on a bit too long near the end. The ballet sequence with the girl with the dress. I mean, I love it. I think this movie is pretty much perfect.
What? Have you done dancing before, Sandro?
Bloody
Have you danced before?
Let me bloody tell you, we met dancing. That's how we fucking met, mate.
What?
That's how we met.
Oh, shit, that's right.
Do people know that? I feel like we probably mentioned that on the show
We
before.
probably mentioned it, but not in a long time. We met when we were like 3.
Yeah.
And in the movie, the main two characters, the character and the sidekick, the comedy guy, they met at dance classes.
That's true, they
when
did.
When they were like 3.
They would be podcasters nowadays.
Absolutely. They would be podcasters reviewing movies about people who met at a dance class when they were 3. That's what they would be doing right now.
What else? The song Good Morning is actually from a movie from the 30s. The same with the song Would You, also from the 30s. Everything from that dream sequence is from other movies around the 30s as well, kind of taken parts here and there.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a reference ball.
Yes.
They just added like lots of little references and stuff in that, which is cool.
It's cool. I think the lyrics are new.
Yeah.
The lyrics are new, but the songs themselves and the melodies are all from other musicals. Even to the point where Singin' in the Rain came first. The song came first. The song was made in the late 20s, was in a bunch of movies, but is more iconic for this one. I mean, obviously, the movie is based, like, the name of the movie is that song.
Yeah, it's
so the
called Singing in the Rain.
Yeah.
So he sings Singing in the Rain, and he does a good job of it. So I think,
that is the iconic version, without a doubt, of that song.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a good song.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Smash Mouth, I think, you know? When I say Smash Mouth, you think of...
Somebody once told me.
Yes, All-Star, and you think of Shrek. It's iconic. But it was in a lot of movies before that.
It was in a bunch of different films from the early 2000s.
Yeah, we even watched one, which ended with a unique rendition of Smash Mouth.
God, that was bad.
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. It had a fucking... What do they call that instrument? The mouth instrument. Fucking...
Oh, not the recorder. What's it called? Harmonica, that's it.
Harmonica, yeah. They had a harmonica solo in All-Star, which was awesome. That was the best bit of the movie.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Like, Singin' in the Rain, and I know that this will probably offend some people, but Singin' in the Rain is the Moulin Rouge or the Mamma Mia of its time. It's a bunch of already established songs in a bloody movie.
Yeah. But it's a good movie, and it's good renditions of the song. I think it's like a hits album. So they did sort of cheat, I guess, with this one. I think the idea was it's also sort of like a reference thing. Like, it's a big reference. Where we don't get the references nowadays so much, because this is just the movie that we're referencing. When you say Singing in the Rain, you think of Singing in the Rain, not the other movies with Singing in the Rain in them.
Exactly, yeah. What would you say your favorite song is, aside from Singin' in the Rain? Because that's the obvious one. That one's amazing. That whole sequence is hilarious.
Yeah.
And so much fun. What would you say your favorite sequence or song is?
I did have Gotta Dance stuck in my head for a bit. I did like the one where they get the tongue twister.
Moses Supposes.
Something hoses.
Yep.
And then they make fun of it because it's like, and then we say hoses because it's the only thing that rhymes with Moses or something. They say that, like, during that, which is great. That was a good one. You gotta make him laugh, make him laugh, make him laugh. I like the make him laugh one.
Yes.
I think that one was probably my favorite. I'll hit make him laugh with my favorite.
I think that one's a really good one.
But they were all pretty good. Which was your favorite, Sandro?
I love Good Morning.
I
really like this version of Good Morning. I'm trying to think if there's any that top it. I feel like Make 'Em Laugh technically is the best one, just purely because it's just him throwing himself into shit.
It
seems
funny.
like it's all one cut too. It seems like they don't cut. It's really impressive.
Oh, I don't think they do. I think it's all one shot.
And the worst song is probably the one where he says, "At least she's 16." That's probably the worst song.
Yeah. She's sweet 16, and I was like, oh, did he just say, oh, that doesn't hold up as well? Ooh.
I do love how that song turns into a fashion advertisement, though, that just goes on forever.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
oh, yeah.
It's very funny.
It's very silly. Obviously, it's played up. It's great. But yes, definitely a bit of a whoa, yikes.
I wrote down heaps and heaps and heaps of quotes from this one as well. So quickly going through some of those. At the start of the movie, they're watching a film. Lena Lamont's on it. She's on scene, and someone in the audience is like, "Oh my god, she's so refined. I think I'll kill myself." And I was like, that is a very modern joke for the 50s.
Yeah. No, that sums up, I think. What's it like, fandom culture, where people are too obsessed with people?
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure was worse back then or not. Because on one hand, nowadays you have a lot of different things to obsess over. So a lot of obsess. Whereas back then it was like famous people, like you were grabbing magazines, you were obsessing over them because you didn't know anything. Nowadays you could know anything.
Yeah, and also nowadays as well, the big thing nowadays that I've seen a lot is we're never gonna get a movie star nowadays who's the same as movie stars back then. Because there's too many fucking movies.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
There's too many movies for any one actor to be the thing.
I think there's more, like, spread out craziness.
Yes.
And by spreading it thin, it's become less. You know, if you have more concentrated, they hype each other up. They become even more insane. You get those fangirls where
Yeah, we're never going to get another The Beatles. We'll never get... I mean, we almost did with One Direction, but also it didn't quite get as big as The Beatles.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
We'll never get a pop star like Michael Jackson or Elvis again. That won't happen.
I don't know. Crisp Rat over here. He's looking real up there, you know? I'm feeling it for old Crispy Rat.
It is interesting. Another quote I have was, "What's the big idea? Am I dumb or something?" Which is a classic. She says that all the time.
What do you think I am, stupid?
One quote that I've seen this movie a lot. One quote that I didn't remember though was, "Call me a cab." Okay, you're a cab.
Yeah, that was good. That's it. Yeah. I remember that as well. I was like, that's a good joke. This is good. They do a funny little bit of wordplay. He likes doing that where he'll just take something literally.
Yeah. I think there was a moment as well in the scene where they were, because it's at a house party and, a dinner party, I should say. It's the fucking 50s. It's not a house party.
Yes, this is a refined thing, Sandro. You can't make fun of it. Anyway, we have women bursting out of cakes.
But there's a scene in that where someone mentions the Marx Brothers while they're doing Marx Brothers style comedy as well. So I'm like, that's kind of funny.
Speaking of bursting into cakes, so at one point during the movie, the female love interest, she bursts out of a cake.
Yes.
And we discovered that that's her job. And then the guy's there and he's like, haha, you're not an actor. You're just a sing and dance showgirl.
Yes.
But the comedy relief says, finally we found you. We've been looking at every cake in town.
Yeah, that was very funny.
Which I thought was a great line. So that was the one I wanted to mention. It's like, they've been searching the cakes. Because, she burst out of a cake at one point.
I've got another quote involving her, which is, I think they're meet cute just after she bursts out of a cake. By the way, love story between Don and Kathy.
Yeah.
Are you
saying it's a little sus?
It's dated a bit. It's dated, but it doesn't take away from the movie.
What do you mean it was dated? I think it felt pretty natural.
I mean, the first scene where he just kind of hops into her car and then is really close to her and they don't know each other. And I'm like, this is not okay.
Yeah. And you know what she does? She gets the police involved all of a sudden.
That's true.
And I think it was quite realistic. He jumps into her car. She's like freaking out. So she gets a police officer and he's like, "Oh my God, you're that famous actor." And she's like, "Oh my God, you're that famous actor." And then he gets all pompous and tries to like schmoozy up to her. And she's like, "You know what? You're a piece of shit. You know what you do for a living? It sucks ass. You're a piece of shit."
She's a fucking film bro. She's like, "I don't watch movies. I go to the theater."
Yeah. And he's like, "What just happened? I got dumped."
Yeah.
And it like sticks with him for the next, because he's like this famous playboy thing, who's a little bit too much in his head at this point in the movie.
Yes.
He's a little bit too full of himself. And then he's sort of brought down to earth where he's like, "Oh, wait a minute, not every woman is fawning over me. This girl's like, what I do isn't acting." And it devastates him for the rest of the film. And I thought that was pretty good. And then they get back together because he's like, "I can't get you out of my head." And then I thought this was one of the better relationships we've had. There's a lot worse.
Out of every film we've done this year, this is probably the best one.
Yeah, so far. Like, you know.
I do like the line, though, when he is in her car and he's like, "I'm not gonna molest you. I'm but a humble jester." I was like,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, that line didn't exactly age well. Yeah,
I think it's funny, though. I think that line was funny.
I mean, it's funny, but it's also like, oh, okay. If someone said that in my car, they are flying out the moving car's door. You can jester on the road, so...
And there is a scene as well. Speaking of things that don't age well, it's the blackface in that one scene, but also there's a moment I think it's in Good Morning, where they're singing Good Morning around the world, and they pretend to do like, I don't even know, like a Hawaiian rendition of the song.
Oh, right.
And it's just a bunch of racist gibberish. It's like a Looney Tunes that it turns into for a second, and I'm like, ugh. She's like hula dancing. I'm like, I don't like this, But that is like the only moment. This movie holds up really, really well if you take away. And that's the thing as well. It's like, this is a comedy from the 50s. Of course, stuff isn't going to age well. You're not going to get a comedy from this time or any time before this, and there's not going to be, like, there's always going to be jokes that don't age well because it's a comedy, you know?
Yeah, that's it. Like, yeah. So some of it hasn't aged as well, but I thought this movie aged quite well.
Yeah.
Besides a few bits. It's like, this is a fine wine. You reach the end of the wine. There's a bit of, like, congealed grape or something at the end, and it's like, oh, then that bit is not so good. Let me not drink that bit. Maybe we cut this bit out of the wine. The rest of it was great, though.
It is really, really good. Behind the scenes stuff. Let's bloody get into behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I'm very curious because you mentioned this earlier, and I'm like, this is stuff I don't know because I watched this film before.
Yes.
I've enjoyed it. I've singed and danced, but I don't know what was in the making of this singing and dancing.
Well, in the role of Kathy Selden is Debbie Reynolds. Unfortunately, she didn't have a great time making this movie. So Gene Kelly was the choreographer. I don't think she had any dancing experience before making this. And not to say that Gene Kelly was a bit mean, but he was a bit mean. He was a bit mean making this, made her cry many times while they were filming it, calling her not particularly good in scenes to try and get a better performance out of her, which, I mean, don't do that. First of all, don't do that.
Yeah, that sounds like he is a comical villain of a movie in that case, but it's not very comical if it's real life that you're abusing people.
Yeah, funnily enough, I think she was like, she was crying after a rehearsal or something, and Fred Astaire, who is friends with Gene Kelly, but a worse person, actually was like, no, it's worth it. You should stick with this. This is going to be a good movie. So even though I hate Fred Astaire,
wow,
he kind of helped this movie be made. So
yeah,
cool, I guess.
That is a much darker tone than I thought this like lighthearted dancing film was going to be.
Yeah,
but I guess like dancing is all about like putting on a smile and doing the dance no matter how you're feeling.
Yeah, no, it's rough. I think it took them almost like 20 hours to film the Good Morning routine, and because she wasn't an experienced dancer, her feet were just wrecked at the end of it.
Yeah.
It was hard. She was quoted a few years later being like, Singin In The Rain and childbirth were the two hardest things I've ever had to do.
Wow.
Which is rough.
Yeah,
and also,
damning,
just like Wizard of Oz, this is an MGM movie, so none of this is a surprise because it's MGM.
Right. Yeah, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
This puts it in a much worse light. I'm glad I've spent, half an hour being like, this is the greatest movie ever. Go watch it. I always forget that I should listen to how it was made first.
I mean, I feel like, yes, it's just like The Wizard of Oz. It's a very good movie, but
it's an insanely good movie, yeah, but obviously the abuse behind the scenes wasn't great.
Very much not okay. She wasn't the only one who got some shit happen to her behind the scenes, though, but I will also note, her character, right, is meant to be overdubbing Lena Lamont. She's meant to be dubbing her in the movie, but the funny thing is, Debbie Reynolds was dubbed over in this movie.
Oh, really? Wow. Ironic.
Yeah, two songs that are meant to be her singing are actually dubbed over by someone called Betty Noyes because her accent was too thick.
Wow. Isn't that ironic?
Yeah, which is very ironic because she's meant to be the one...
the dubber of the movie. But I didn't know about that, which means this movie is like what the movies tried to say not to do, where I don't know the voice actor behind the scenes, right?
Exactly.
That's so weird, yeah.
I don't know if she did any other musicals after this, though, but she was in a bunch of movies with Gene Kelly after this as well, so I guess they probably made up or something.
Yeah.
But the other person who was a bit fucked over in this, honestly, it's not necessarily his own fault, but it was his choice to do it, was Make 'Em Laugh. Make 'Em Laugh almost killed him.
No, really?
Yeah, he was like smoking a whole lot at this point in time, and so doing Make 'Em Laugh was too much work. He was in a hospital bed for many days after filming it.
Wow.
And there was something like, he ended up in a hospital bed after it. He was suffering with exhaustion and carpet burns and stuff. But an accident behind the scenes caused all that footage to be destroyed, so he had to do it again.
No. Wow. So are we seeing him like post-hospital
Yes, we are in the movie, yeah.
after doing all that and having to do it again. So there's possibly a cut that doesn't exist anymore where it's even more aggressive, the slapstick like that he gets into.
Yeah, true.
That's crazy.
I think in particular, it's the trick where he runs up a wall and does a somersault. That one in particular took him forever and just, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That was quite impressive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that makes sense. Wow. Yeah, I mean, props to him because it's one of the best scenes in the movie, I think. It was like my favorite song.
Yeah.
So, I think, well done. And also, fuck.
Yep. Another one, Zach, the last one, though, but it's Gene Kelly, so maybe he deserves it. I don't know. For the sequence of Singin' in the Rain, he had a fever. He was sick.
Oh, no.
Which is kind of funny. He was just really sick making that sequence. He had a fever. He was burning up. Also, he had to wear a special suit to stop it from shrinking.
Ah, okay. Probably because, the fabrics they used back then. That makes sense.
And there's a popular myth as well where the water in that scene isn't water, it's milk.
Yeah,
get it to show up on camera. That is not true. If you've heard that, that's not true.
Oh, okay.
They use backlighting, but I like that myth because then you can watch it and be like, he's dancing in milk. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. I don't know how that would work, though. But I guess...
Yeah, well, because Technicolor at the time was different to how we capture color now.
It's true. Look, it could have been milk, I guess, but that seems like a very far stretch.
Yes, yeah.
I would have suspected they put, like, glue in water or something, like a thin layer of it, so it... Because they do that sometimes with ads. They, like, to make milk, like fake milk... It's just like glue and paint.
Yes.
To get those like frothy milk shots, you know? So I could believe that, but milk's a bit of a stretch.
I'm trying to see if there's anything else here, really.
I think you've ruined this movie enough for me, Sandro.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's the same with The Wizard of Oz. I hear these stories and I'm like, yes, it's bad.
I didn't know these things about the movie beforehand.
Well, that's true. That's what this year is, just ruining movies for you. That's what
that's true. It's like, if we had not done this film, I would have been in a blissful universe where I thought the production of this film was fine. But obviously it's not. And, like, it's probably not a bad thing to know.
I feel like, though, unlike Wizard of Oz... This was a hard movie to make, and Gene Kelly has gone back and said, I treated the cast badly on this one. I'm sorry about that. I just wanted to make an amazing movie. It's good that he's admitted that, whereas you look at someone like Stanley Kubrick, who literally tortured his cast members on The Shining. He never apologized for that.
This one feels a lot better because, you know, it didn't permanently put a young actress in a drug coma state where she couldn't go without drugs, like, became an addict after that. So, like, the repercussions of this film are not that bad.
No, for sure.
I mean, the filming of it was pretty bad. It's sending people to hospital and, you know, ruining actresses' feet. Like, that's not good. But it didn't have lasting repercussions, which is always a bonus when you're in film production, I guess.
I think that's good. And also, no one died, so that's good as well.
That's all. Yeah, that is true. No one died.
No one died.
That's a winner in my book.
It's got a one-up on Tarzan and the Mermaids based off that.
Yeah, oh my god, I forgot. Yeah, at least they make a good film with all this abuse. At least something good came out of it instead of people dying for Tarzan and the Mermaids. That's nuts.
Also, one quick thing as well, in terms of the budget of this movie, that sequence, the Broadway scene, the Garter dance part, that cost a fifth of the budget. That scene is one of the most expensive sequences in this entire movie.
Oh, really? Wow.
And I don't really know why it's in the film. It does kind of feel like Gene Kelly just wanted to do a music video. Yeah. And it's good. It's really good.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I don't know why you keep shitting on it, Sandro. Why do you hate it so much?
Well,
you're on this hate bandwagon for it.
The reason I don't like that scene, and it's not because I don't like it anymore. But as a kid, I just got bored during it, and I always skipped it.
Oh, yes. Well, here's the thing, right? It's because as a child, you were the biggest film bro sitter.
It's true.
That was your dark age. You had a heart of coal. I remember this from previous episodes we've talked about how as a kid you were a film bro, a film critique, and rated a lot of these films a lot harsher than you do now. So that's fair. I'd say, Sandro, that you are the what's her name from High School Musical?
I'm the Sharpay. I'm the Sharpay.
Yeah, you're the Sharpay of the film bro into podcast.
Well, I mean, if I meant to be the
universe.
villain, then I would be Gabriella, because she is the villain.
Ah, that's true.
Gabriella and Troy are the bad people. No, they're fine. They're fine. Any other moments that you wanted to mention from this one?
No, I think we summoned it up. I'm trying to think, is there anything else in the film? There's like the ending where she's now on a poster. That's nice. It's got Singing in the Rain as a poster, which brings up the fact that is Singing in the Rain a different thing in this universe? Or did they make this film in the universe about her and about this story? Like, did this happen in the real life in their situation and then they made a movie exactly verbatim about it?
That's true.
It brings up a lot of questions.
Are we watching the movie that they made?
Yeah, are we watching the movie that they made with the new actress, right? And did they get the old actress to play the villain of herself in the film? Like, there's a lot of questions that go into this. But I'm going to ignore them and say that, no, that's it. This film is ruined for me forever, thanks to Sandro.
All right, well, let's come up with a bloody remake-a-Rooney of this movie.
Remake. Oh, no. Well, my first thought is like a remake, but it's in the future where the rain is toxic because of pollution.
Oh, my
God. So he
God.
sings in the rain and then he immediately gets sick. And like, it's like, I shouldn't have sung in the rain. Because the weather in cities is toxic because of all the pollution.
You could do that. You could also just do a West Side Story, what Spielberg did with that a few years ago, which is just remake the movie as well. But the thing is, West Side Story isn't perfect. There's a lot of problems with that original movie, so I feel like the remake was needed. Whereas a remake for this, I'm like, I don't know if we need one.
Yeah, well, that's probably why it hasn't been remade, because it doesn't need one. It does not need a remake. It is good enough as is. But I could see that in the future we do this as like a satire of modern times, making fun of modern things and being like, hey, Hollywood's kind of fucked up. They won't pay their writers, you know?
Singing in the Rain, but it's about AI, not going from... It's about going from writers to AI, or it's about the Hollywood strike, the writers' strike.
Yeah, I think we add that. Like, halfway through the film, they're like, sorry, we can't do the rest of the film. We're not doing it. All the writers have gone on strike. And it's like, well, shit, what are we going to do? And it's like, maybe actors have to, they try, like, making scripts up, but it's all terrible.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, actors, we'll pay you more. Please come back.
But then the actors also went on strike, so...
No. We could have that as the progression of the film. Like, first the writers go on strike and the actors are like, oh shit, all right, I guess we'll have to make up stuff, do stuff. And then when they can't, they're like, we're going to go on strike unless you pay these writers more. And in our, film universe, the studio caves and they pay the actors more and everyone's happy. Unlike the real world where they cut down trees to make it so you can't protest in the shade. What? That can't be right. That can't be a real life thing.
Why would they do that? Maybe just pay people, actually. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's a
maybe
hot
just
take.
pay people. Yeah, you fuckers.
The crazy thing about the strike as well is the amount of money that they're asking for. It's like 1/10 of what the CEO of Warner Brothers earns a year.
Yeah, it's like 1% of their net revenue
Yeah.
that they'd have to sacrifice or something, and it's like, oof. I think everyone should be paid a bit more. I think rich CEOs should be paid slightly less.
I think we should hang them. I think we should do
Whoa!
a French Revolution.
Hey, Sandro, here's the problem, though. They just chopped up all the trees. We can't hang them.
We can't hang them. They chopped the trees
God damn
down.
it. They're one step ahead of us.
God damn it. Anyway.
That's why they really did that.
Well, let's go through and recast a bunch of this then.
Chris Pratt.
No. Can he sing?
He's that popular boy. I don't know. He can do an Italian accent. That's for sure.
I don't know what movie you saw. Now, I thought that Mario was okay, but he was not. He was doing a Boston accent. Thank you very much.
It was terrible. It was bad. He is not a good Mario pick. I don't care what happened. That was a terrible idea.
Did you know that Chris Pratt is Garfield as well? They're making a new Garfield movie. Chris Pratt's Garfield.
Yeah. I know that. I remember that. Oh my god. Yeah, let's not put Chris Pratt in anything, actually.
Yeah,
you know what? I'm on board, Sandra. Let's not do that. Let's find someone else.
Oh, dear.
Oh, John Hamm.
Oh, he's amazing.
John Hamm. And he looks almost like the main actor in this film, and he's a great actor.
He's good. He's too old, though.
He is a bit old, but I feel like it could work. I also love him as an actor. You could have him as an older actor, and one of the jokes of the movie can be that he's too old for the role. And that no one will believe him, and it's like, we'll use CGI to make him look younger, and then they have to, resort to things. That could be a joke in the film.
I like that.
He's only, in his 50s. We could just have him as a guy in his 50s,
I was gonna check, because if it's gonna be set in now, I was thinking we go modern day youngish singers. I'm
that's fair.
My idea, not for the main character but for the comedic sidekick, was Lil Nas X. Because he's fucking hilarious. He's a great actor too. I love that guy.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, actually. Oh, but think about it. John Hamm and Lil Nas X. That sounds it could be amazing.
That doesn't make any sense, though.
No, it doesn't make any sense, but it would be funny, though.
What about John Hamm as the head of the studio? How about that?
Okay.
We can still have a minute.
You could have him as playing, a guy who did Singing in the Rain previously.
The stage version. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
And he's directing it. Yeah, I like that.
For the high-pitched voice, Anna Kendrick can sing, but she's also very funny, and I feel like could play up being a bad singer.
Oh, you want her as the, that would be funny. She is quite funny. Because she could easily do both roles, actually. Who was our main, then? Who was our lead?
What about the guy from High School Musical? Not Troy Bolton, but the best friend.
Oh, not Zac.
No,
Efron.
Not Zac Efron, but Corden Blue.
Corden Blue.
He is in his 30s, but he can sing and he can dance, though. He can sing and he can dance.
He would be used to the musical environment.
Yeah.
That is true. I'll put a maybe on that one. We might be able to find someone better, though.
I'm feeling maybe for our lead. He's good, though. I like him. Okay, for Kathy, though, who'd be good for Kathy?
How about this? Anna Kendrick.
Yes.
No, that's my suggestion for the other. Oh my god, wait a minute. What if she plays both characters? What if Anna Kendrick both plays the villain character and the voice actor voicing over the villain character?
That is very funny.
That's so good. Because she can do both, right?
Yeah.
So why not let her do both? That would be really funny.
That is so funny. That's a good twist in the movie.
Yeah. That's a good twist in the movie. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, fuck it. All right. Yeah, Anna Kendrick is both.
I wonder if it's a real life she's doing, what was that TV shows in 2000s where it had the normal girl who's doing, Britney Spears or whatever it was?
Like Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana, yeah. Is this a Hannah Montana situation, but it gets weird? Or is it just in movie, we have this lady who's playing the two things, but in real life, it's two different
I feel
people.
like in the movie, it's Anna Kendrick in a blonde wig, Anna Kendrick with natural brunette hair.
Yeah, you think it's just in the movie, it's just normal.
Yeah.
It's two different people, whereas outside, it's played both by Anna Kendrick. I guess that would get a bit too meta and a bit too weird. So, yeah. Anna Kendrick, then, as both the villain and the love lead.
Okay, so who would be good as the we could go for David Diggs, he's not in that many movies, but he was in Hamilton.
Oh, yeah. He was in Zootopia. He was in Soul.
Yeah.
He's in the new Little Mermaid that just came out.
Oh, he's
Damn.
Sebastian. He's Sebastian the Crab.
Yeah. This guy's kind of popular. This guy's kind of good. I like him. I'm warming up to this guy. I like this guy a lot.
I don't know how good of a dancer he is, but I think that could work.
Well, that could be part of it, you know. We could give him dance classes and he's not good at dancing. Well, that could be part of the movie. It doesn't matter how good he is at dancing. Either he's great at dancing and we could have a bit where he's like, oh, he's good at dancing. Or we could have a bit where he's like, oh, he's bad at dancing.
I think that is good. Director. Who?
Oh, yes.
Who the fuck? I feel like people who have done musicals, John M. Chu directed In the Heights, which was a pretty decent, okay recent musical. That one had good scale to it. He also directed Step Up to the Streets, and he's doing the Wicked movies.
Yeah. I also agree. I think John M. Chu, he's pretty great.
Yeah.
I think like Crazy Rich Asians, I think is the sort of energy.
Yeah.
I think Crazy Rich Asian is the sort of energy I want for this film, right?
All right, we'll go with John M. Chu then. That's a pretty good version. That brings us to the bloody end of another bloody episode. We're done.
Oh my god. We're done? We're out of here? We're outskis?
For this week.
But what are we doing next week, Sandro?
Yes.
You're gonna pick a movie.
Yeah, 1953. And I will pick that in a bloody second. Zach, hold your bloody horses, because I tell you something
Do we need to promote things first, though?
Of course we do. Of course we do. I need to say all the shit that people skip over. Everyone skips this part of the podcast.
It's true. That's why I'm going to tell a secret in the middle of this, so you need to listen in.
You're going to tell a bloody secret?
Yeah, so you need to listen to all the places where you can listen to us. You know, the thing you're already doing, so you already know how to listen to us.
Well, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, at Oldie Buddy Goody Pod, if you want to get in touch. We put up the pictures of our remakes on those socials, so go check out the page that I spent 20 minutes working on in Canva to see who we chose and who we casted. I think they're pretty cool to look at. I like looking at them with my eyeballs. We're also on YouTube at Oldie Buddy Goody Pod if you want to get your episodes that way. Thanks to everyone who reviewed us on iTunes, on Spotify. It's called Apple Podcasts, not iTunes. iTunes is dead.
They took iTunes out back.
That's true.
I love our modern age of changing things. I like how Twitter's now X. Just X.
I like that as well. I think that's very funny.
My secret is, did you know you can upload full videos now to Twitter?
Full videos?
Yeah. You can upload a whole video thing up to like half an hour, an hour.
Yeah, because people were putting the Mario movie on Twitter for a while.
Yeah. So now you can officially do that on X. You just go to xvideos.com. That was my secret. My secret was going to X videos.
Ha ha ha.
I'd like to say that's a joke. Don't do that.
And patreon.com/Oldie Buddy Goody Pod, where you can get ad-free episodes, early episodes, and for a little bit extra money, bonus episodes. Zach, Cagerama Volume 2 is done.
Cagerama. We're fucking done with it.
We finished it. We did 3 months of Nicolas Cage. We're done. We ended it on a bonus battle between two massive movies that he did with Jerry Bruckheimer. That was fun.
A true cage match.
It was a cage match. And I reckon we haven't recorded it yet, but it's going to be pretty fun because I've already seen one of the movies. I already watched one of them, but we haven't recorded it yet, and I haven't seen the other one.
Well, here's the thing, Sandro. You know what I said? I said the secret? That wasn't the secret. People who have actually listened to this point, you get the secret.
Oh my god, another secret.
The secret is that we record a lot of these things in advance. So when we say things like, go check out this episode we've recorded, we haven't recorded it yet.
No. We haven't recorded it yet, or we recorded it 2 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's all pre-recorded from ages ago. This is the 8th of the 8th that we're recording this.
Oh my god, don't say that. I've got to leave it in, though. It's very funny. I'm going to pick next episode.
Oh, yeah, you got to pick the next movie. What movie you going to pick? Spoiler, we've already picked the movie in advance. This is the secret. We've already picked the movie in advance.
What do you mean?
Just a bit we do.
The last movie we read out is the one that we pick. It's not that we picked it beforehand.
Yeah, just a happenstance. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure you're going to pick Peter Pan this week, aren't you, Sandra? You're going to pick Peter Pan, aren't you?
Fuck Peter Pan. It's a good movie, but I'm not picking a Disney film.
The movie that I started off this thing with. That's so weird.
What if I pick Roman Holiday? That's a fun film.
Is it?
Yeah, I like it. I like Roman Holiday. It's about falling in love with Audrey Hepburn and Gregory Peck, and they're in Rome or some shit.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not picking that.
Yeah, Sandra?
I'm not picking that one, actually. I'm not picking it.
What about the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms?
That sounds fun, actually. But I'm not gonna bloody pick it, Zach.
Oh, no, but it's in the Arctic Circle. Researchers detonated a nuclear device and unwittingly thaw a prehistoric beast from millions of years ago. It's definitely not Godzilla.
You know what? We are in the 50s. We are in the 50s, which means we get a lot of monster movies. We should do some monster movies soon.
I would love to do monster movies.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I brought this up, because I would actually like to do some monster movies, because, you know, they're cool.
But Zach, what about Catwomen of the Moon?
Wait, is this related to the Catwoman that we've already done?
No.
The Panther? What?
No, it's separate. It's its own thing.
Wait, there's different cat people?
This reads like a bad episode of the original Star Trek show.
Oh, really?
The tagline is, a group of astronauts travel to the moon and find that it's inhabited by a race of telepathic cat women.
Oh, no, this sounds terrible. Tell me you're not picking this film.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Okay, so what are we doing then?
No, I know what we're picking, Zach, and I'm picking something that's actually pretty similar to Singin' in the Rain, because it's also a musical.
Oh, another musical? Is this the musical weeks? What is happening?
That's right, I'm picking a musical, but Zach, it's not just a musical. It's a musical in the style of a sort of movie that was very, very popular back then, but we haven't done one yet. It's a Western.
Oh, Western?
Western musical. It's a film I saw a couple times as a kid, haven't seen it since.
Is it the Wiki Wiki Wild Wild West?
It's close. It's called Calamity Jane.
Oh, Calamity Jane. I've heard of Calamity Jane before.
She's a Wild West heroine. She dresses like a man. She kills people in Deadwood.
I do love a bit of heroin.
It's Doris Day. I feel like I watched this movie a couple times as a kid, and I thought it was pretty fun, so...
I've never seen this before, so
Yeah.
this is really pretty cool. I like Westerns. I like Westerns a lot. And it's a shame we haven't done as many Westerns yet. Although this, I think it's around the 60s where Westerns really get super popular.
Yeah, they were popular before then, but they got, like, superhero movie level popular in the 60s.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, do that next time. Zach, you go bounce out of that body. I go wrap up the bloody podcast by saying that I'm a mad cunt. Hello.
Whoa, what a mad cunt. He's just saying it. Yeah. Have fun with this guy. Also, he's been to the future. I think this is another timey-wimey shit.
Oh, did you want me to explore that? Oh, he's gone. Zach's gone. Hi, what was your name again?
Why, it's me, John, Steed.
Mr. Steed, I must say, you said you've been to the future, and I feel like I should probably talk about that because we've got a plot this year, and I've kind of ignored it over the last few weeks.
Yeah, it does appear that the plot's lost the plot, as it were. Well, you see, it's all leading to a build-up at the end of the year where shenanigans will ensue. But in the meantime, I'm going to get my friend to whisk me off to the future so I can invest in more companies that will be profitable.
Whisk you off to the future, that means that you are a time traveler, and that means that, Harry Grindle Matthews is at it again? Is he free? I already knew that, I think.
No, you didn't. No, but you can now. Yeah, he's totally free.
I still gotta find out who the orphan's parents are, isn't that right, Orphan?
It's a mystery. It's a mystery.
Oh my god, no one cares if it's a mystery or not. Jesus Christ. Alright.
Alright.
I'm leaving. And fuck your plate as well.
Oh my god, the plate broke. That joke came back. We haven't done that in a few weeks. It's back. It's back, baby. I'm smashing all the plates. I'm smashing them all.
Oh my god. My ears. That's too many sound effects. Alright, I'm leaving.
And I'm singing in the broken plates. I'm singing in the broken plates.